No sooner has Remix season started than leaks have already been leaked that will shock everyone. And yes, you're not imagining it. What I'm going to talk about in this video is the best decision to Fortnite. Hi everyone, I'm Philly. It seems Epic noticed the moments when our favorite game's online peaks and realized they were going about it the wrong way all along. Today we're going to talk about things like the full return of the first chapter of Fortnite, how it might affect the regular Battle Royale, and when will it all be. If you're intrigued, as always, please like and subscribe, and sit back and enter my new 4-digit creator code F15H in the item store. And here we go. What do you think is the main problem with OG seasons and regular seasons in Fortnite? You're right, the problem is that they run out. Of course, that's not always the problem, but in general I'm saying that Fortnite is fickle and things change all the time. And sometimes it changes for the better, and sometimes it changes for the worse. If we look at the resonance that Fortnite was able to make when the OG season came out, we can see that online was at its peak then, just like in the original first chapter. But the season itself only lasted a month, and while Epic was able to keep the majority of players in the first season of the 5th chapter, in the second season, online began to decline noticeably. But what if OG seasons were to be in Fortnite forever? Epic also asked themselves this question. We get leaks that are literally shocking. So let's break down the leaks about the return of the first chapter. First, data mayors have swept up a new encrypted mode called Figment. What made this mode notable was the fact that the loot pool in it is the same as in Reload mode, which in turn was introduced as a first chapter mode. Well, that's it, I would have said, and finished the video, if there were no bigger fish here. It's all about the fact that after a while there was news that Fortnite OG will return permanently, that is, forever. And it's coming in December. As it seems to me, this mode will be presented together with other modes of the 6th chapter, as it was, for example, with Fortnite Lego and Rocket Racing. Also, in the leaks it became clear that this mode will have a version with building mechanics, but also so its zero build version. And don't get too excited, that's not all. All seasons of the first chapter will return every month. That is, in the first month of this mode's existence, we will play the very first season of Fortnite. In the second month, the second, night season, and so on. But then it's not very clear what happens when 10 months have passed. After all, there will always be a mode in Fortnite. So does that mean we'll be stuck in Season 10 forever? Or do we go backwards? It's not really clear yet. I can tell you right away that we won't be going back to Chapter 2, because the leak says that it's the seasons of the first chapter that will come back into play. And obviously in these seasons, loot pool will be from the first chapter, and maybe there will even be a full replay of those very seasons, which would be cool. And again, the official announcement will most likely be during the event of this season, called Remix Final, or exactly with the start of the new chapter. It's not clear yet. But I think it will be something similar to the announcement of Lego mode, when we turned into Lego figures during the event and were shown all kinds of new world. There's another option, and that's the Game Awards 2024. These are, if anything, the awards for the best games of the past year. Fortnite has already made an appearance at one such Game Awards once, so I think this option is also possible. It seems to me that this new mode would be the best decision, no matter which way you look at it. After all, new players will be able to play the usual Chapter 6 Battle Royale, and old players who want to go back to the basics will be able to afford it at any time. I wish Donald Mustard would come back to Epic for this mode, but unfortunately, we won't see such miracles. Also, it would be great if you could buy a new Battle Pass, or Snoop Dogg, or even Eminem using my new creator code F15H, because it would be easy for you to enter just 4 letters, and I would be very pleased. So, if you dig a little deeper, it's likely that there could be consequences after adding this mode for Fortnite. I don't think Epic will decide to double the number of employees to work on 2 battle royales at once. So most likely some of the modes will be left without content, which I certainly wouldn't want to happen. Epic can't not add a story to the 6th chapter, because then it would just become uninteresting to follow over time, But they can't leave the OG chapter out either, because let's be honest, most of the popularity of old Fortnite was due to the events, which wouldn't have happened without the story. As great as we think this news is now, it's likely that eventually even this mode will become boring and unnecessary. Epic just won't be able to keep adding seasons of the first chapter indefinitely. As I see it, they're popular precisely because they're limited in the ability to play them now, and a very small percentage of the people who play them now have seen them live. So old players long for the old seasons, and new players fantasize about what the game might have looked like back then. But if the mode with the first chapter will be, as I said, really permanent, then most likely as old players will eventually get bored of seeing the same thing, and new players will not be interested in what is the first chapter of Fortnite. So, personally, I would recommend not to overestimate your expectations so as not to be disappointed after the release of this mode, but I would not advise you to lose faith in Epic Games, because there are clearly not stupid people sitting there, and most likely, they will come up with something that players are not so bored. In any case, the news is really shocking. For now, we will be able to see how successful this decision will be only after a while. In the meantime, I'd advise you to enjoy what's going on now, because Epic has really rehabilitated themselves and started producing really good seasons. What's more, Chapter 5 had a different storyline in literally every season, and some really good innovations and map changes. Maybe after a while, we really won't need the first chapter, and a lot of players will be asking OG for a fifth chapter. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then by all means don't forget to put your nostalgic like, subscribe to this channel, and enter my creator code F15H in the item store. Well, we'll see you as usual in the